Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive.
I'm so great, I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell. What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. I paused for a second there, folks. I got pointed at and paused, and I wasn't sure I was going to start, but yet here I am leaping in with both feet, with both lips, with all my teeth. That's right, I brought all my teeth to the show this time. Usually I don't. Usually I leave my bottom teeth at home. Can you tell when I speak? No, because I've learned how to speak without my bottom teeth. I had to do that in prison. Let me drop a message to you folks right now, and not to all of you folks, although you're sitting there right now with your tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds on, plugged into your iPod vaginas. We've discussed this. They're not plugged right into the iPod vagina. The iPod vagina is plugged into the iPod, which is connected to the shin bone, which is connected to the knee bone, as we're all aware of. This is a message to a subset of you. And I'm not even sure how big this subset is. It may be very tiny. I know there's at least one person in this subset. I'll tell you that. I don't know if everybody else is involved or if there's anybody else involved, quite frankly. But I will tell you that there is certainly one person in this subset that I'm about to address. Burlesque dancers. Now listen, burlesque dancers. And that's our friend Lily Von Strip. She's here, and she would be one of the people in that subset. Right now, I guarantee she's the one who's definitely in the subset. By all means, do that. She's perched forward with her chin in her hands because she wants to hear what I have to say. Which is what all of you should be doing, quite frankly. Unless you're driving. Holy God, hands on the wheel. 10 and 2. Burlesque dancers. I enjoy you. I certainly like the acts that you've put forth for everyone, and I enjoyed the fact that you decide to take off your clothes in a room filled with people. And I feel because I have done shows with you, we have somewhat of a kinship, a camaraderie. We get along, we're friends, and I've also worked with you, so I guess we would be... I guess we're colleagues. I guess I would say that we are colleagues on certain days. And take that back. Every day, I am a colleague with you. If you work on a stage, and I have worked with you on that said stage, then I guess we're colleagues. All right, I guess that, by saying all of this, it's going to invalidate my upcoming phrase. And I know it is, but I don't care. I tell you that right now. Burlesque dancers. You perform live, you perform in shows, I perform with you. That's fine. We're colleagues, we're friends. Everything is great. However, anytime you would like to stop sending me requests on LinkedIn would be fine with me. Because I can't imagine. Look, first of all, I don't know what the fuck LinkedIn is. I don't know. It's some sort of spam email system that I get a ton of every day from people trying to get me to join their network on LinkedIn, which is fine. Normally, so in my head, when I started to get it, I thought it was like people who listen to the show or maybe business people who are like, just, they spam everybody in their fucking address book. I have no idea. But when burlesque dancers start reaching out to me via LinkedIn, I don't... Let me get very specific here with one person in particular who I've received a couple... Fever Blister is her name. Her name is Fever Blister. She's a dancer. And I haven't seen her in a while. I worked with her quite a long time ago, a couple years ago, it seems. But apparently, it's very important a couple years later to get me into her business contacts. In case Fever decides that she's like, well, you know what? I'm putting together an office of comedians and dancers. I would love to have you in my Rolodex. Get fucking bombed. Why the fuck am I on your LinkedIn list? Why do you have a LinkedIn list? I can't even imagine. If it's like anything like temp agencies and shit, you got to fill out qualifications, right? Well, if you're a burlesque dancer, what the fuck do you throw in there? It's like qualifications. Tits. That's it. That goes in your LinkedIn list. You got tits, and all of a sudden, boom, you form your burlesque dancer troupe. God damn it. It just seems crazy to me. It seems... And it comes... You know what? Here's the weird thing. Like, I don't know how they got my email address. I mean, I guess they get it through the website. But, I mean, Fever, I haven't seen her in 2 years. How the fuck did she get my email address?
When I send out the confirmation, I send it out to everyone in the show, so everyone's emails are there.
All right, but I met Fever Blister, all right? And again, like I said, I haven't seen her in 2 years. And when I saw her 2 years ago, she had trouble keeping her tits straight, all right? I mean, she was a bit of a flighty girl. I can't imagine that 2 years later she's got my fucking address at her beck and call. I mean, granted, she harvested them all when you sent it, but I can't even imagine in her travails all over this world as she took her underwear off in front of strangers She was willing to hang on to my email address. It just seems like the weirdest thing in the world. Who the fuck keeps me on file? You know what? They met me a couple of years ago, and you seem to be great. But I'll tell you what, I've got to go over to the Midwest and show some people my vagina. You may hear from me in a couple of years, though, because I'm thinking of putting together a business proposition, and your name is definitely going to be involved, Mike Schmidt. Thank God I've got your email address on file. Hold on a second. These strangers want to tuck $1 into my labia. But hold on, I'll be back in just one moment to talk to you about spreadsheets. Come on. Get me off your LinkedIn list, stripper. Mike, I tell you what, when we worked together, you were funny, and you seemed like you had a good head on your shoulders. And I think that we could brainstorm and put together a real challenging business, something that could really turn this industry on its ear. Unfortunately, I've got some people that want to draw smiley faces on my areolas in Houston. I will be back from that trip soon, and when I come back... Holy shit. Come on, stripper, shake me loose. We're not getting into business together. I appreciate it. Thank you for thinking of me and putting me on your LinkedIn list, but oh my God, I've got enough problems. I don't need to be employed by Tassel Trick Inc. by Titspin Incorporated. All right. I've gotten like 3 emails from her in the past 2 days, just telling me, and all right, well, good for you, Favor. And the joke's probably on me, because in a year she will be the titan of this industry, and there'll be like she'll be crushing it, and I'll be like, oh my God, if only I had followed her LinkedIn advice. I could be there now. I could be the secretary of clitorises. I could be there right now. I could be the COO. I could be the clitoris operating officer over there at fucking Stripper Inc. Why am I not there? Because I shunned her LinkedIn invite. God damn it. All right. See? All right, look at that. Look at me burning bridges. It's terrible. It's terrible. I've done it. I've done it already. She's going to hear this and just be like horrified. And then she's going to have to get on a plane because inevitably she's got to go show her fucking asshole to people in Milwaukee. Mike, look, I think that you do great work, and I'm looking forward to getting you on the team. However, I need to go bend over in a thong on the East Coast for a couple of days, and then I'll be back. All right. Hi, folks. That's just me burning bridges and trying not to make deals. This is me at a dead end job. This is I guess this isn't really a dead end job. This is me. It's a dead end job if I want. I'm the only boss. I'm my boss. Why is this a dead end job? Why would I promote myself? Why do I tear this apart? This is my only gig that I care about. I have another gig that is not good that you know of. Folks. I work in an apartment building, folks. You may know this. I work as a security person. Rough couple of weeks over at the building. I won't lie to you. I have avoided talking about it. I've shunned it. I've put it aside. Because I don't want to talk about it. Because you're bored of it. And that's the problem with this show. This show is my life, all right? And I have to bring to you what happens with my life or the things that are going on. But unfortunately, it's always the same thing. And then inevitably, every 2 weeks, you're going to hear me bitch about the same thing and go, Jesus Christ, get out of there already. And I don't blame you. And weirdly, how do I shit all over the LinkedIn invite when I've got such a terrible gig on my own?
Oh my God.
I should get on board the Fever Blister train. Turning this business upside down. Gonna use me as your bulldozer. I'm in. I'm back in. Link me in, burlesque dancers. I'm sorry. When I hear the term linked in with burlesque dancers, it is. There's no business being thought about at all. At all. I'm thinking turn a hose on those two because we have to separate them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking when I think of LinkedIn. And by those two, I mean me and one of them. Terrible. I do not have a red rocket. Turn the hose off. All right. Folks. Hey, what was I going to say? Hey, I said clitoris operating officer. And I know there's a raging controversy over there, whether it's clitoris or clitoris. I've always said clitoris myself. But I know I've seen other things where it's been called a clitoris. And so I didn't want to get any letters. That's why I'm pointing that out now. It's been literally since I said it, it's been in my head that I was going to get somebody who went, you said that wrong, but I don't think I said it wrong. And look, I don't give a fuck of how to pronounce it. I just know my way around it. All right, let's put it that way. I'll go ahead and tell you that. If you know your way around it, you don't have to pronounce it correctly. All right. If you know where it's located and you know exactly what to say to it, you know who I am? I'm the clitoris whisperer. That's who I am, folks. when I'm in the vicinity and I got something to say, it doesn't matter how I pronounce its name. All right. Well, you've owned one. Am I right or wrong?
I've owned one.
You own one.
Oh, I own one.
Yes.
I don't actually own it. I think it owns me.
Really? Yeah, that's true. I'm owned by one myself.
And I'm white trash. I just call it a clit.
See, that's what exactly. That's not white trash. That's just smart, because then you avoid the controversies that I've just spent the last 2 minutes discussing. 2 minutes seems high. But I just didn't want. Literally, ever since I said it in my brain, I've been going, "Did you say that right? You said it right, right?" Because I don't need to hear from someone who's like, "Dude, you don't even know how to pronounce that, man. What are you, a virgin?" Like, wait, I don't know. I don't know who's listening to this show. There could be someone out there waiting to pounce, waiting for me to make a clitoral mistake, and they leap all over me. Fever Blister herself may send me a bulletin via LinkedIn. I'm sorry, I can't have you LinkedIn anymore. You did not know how to say clitoris, or clitoris, or clit, or bean, or fucking, man in a boat, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care. Speed bag. I used to go with that one. Working the speed bag. It was always, I'm a good guy, folks. I've had guy friends, and we've talked about vaginas before, and that was my go-to term. Yeah. That was when I did the Swiss Army thing. I did that on stage the other day and showed it. Yeah. 3 in the pink, 1 in the brown, 1 working the speed bag. All right. Swiss Army, folks. Bang, bang. That's how I work it. If only this were on video, you'd know exactly what I was doing. Just boom.
I'll post it from the show.
Do that.
On your page.
No, don't put that clip up. No clips are happening. There's no video from that show that cares to be. Well, not of me. There's videos of ladies.
The whole show was
Right. Well, do not put me up. I was awful.
putting that speed bag up.
Oh, fuck. People, let people listen to this. They don't need to see me talking, all right? You want to hear me talking? Listen to this fucking show. Nobody wants to see me talking, particularly poorly.
Wait a minute. Don't you do a one-man show?
Like I said, poorly. I guess some people do want to see me speaking poorly. Folks, I work at a building, as I've mentioned. And my soul has been crushed. I mean, I've talked about this before. That's the thing. There's no reason to go into it. It doesn't matter. Who the fuck cares? I'm in Graveyardville and I'm working late. I'll tell you this story. It's been hot here. It's like 108 degrees. But even at night, it's like 85. And it's been humid, which is weird. So I'm bored in the building, and I turn the air on in the office. And then I come in the other day. Oh, the air's not working. The ball bearings are shot, as Fletch told me. It's all ball bearings now, guys. That's true. The air conditioning's not working. So I walk the perimeter anyway to stay awake and enjoy myself. So, the other day I'm walking around. It was like 2 in the morning, 2:30 maybe. And I walk outside and all right, the route I take is, or is it route? Again, I don't need anybody to fucking, Jesus Christ, route, who cares? Clitoris, I say clitoris, you say tomato. Actually, all right, so, I'm sorry, I lost track. Because literally that was in my head that whole fucking time that I talked. Go listen to me haltingly get through that section, knowing that in my head the whole time I'm going clitoris, which actually, let's be honest, go listen to any show and that's what's happening in my head at any given time. Because I don't think that's what's going on in my head, I just talk. All right, so when I leave the building, what I'll do is I'll walk up the stairs, because I've incorporated some walking up the stairs into my life because I have a thing coming up in September that I'll talk about in a minute. So I stopped taking the elevator and I just take the stairs. So I walk up the stairs, I check all the doors, I'm just sneaking through the hallways and listening to people's doors because I'm a weird person, kind of a spy. But then I look out in the courtyard and I hear splashing. And so someone's out swimming at like 2:30 in the morning. That just means that's something I got to deal with, folks. All right, that's because there are people who do laundry in the building. I think I've told this story. Like anybody who lives in an apartment building knows the laundry wars. All right, you're familiar with the laundry wars. And someone will start doing their laundry at 11 o'clock. There's a guy in the building who's been there forever. He's that guy. So he's appointed himself the sheriff of the fucking building. So he will go and lock the laundry room. and other people don't have keys. Like, I guess they don't. I don't know if they give them keys. Or they don't give them keys. I don't know why this guy gets to lock it. I get no fucking idea. All I know is I get sucked into that netherworld of laundry wars, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to be the fucking Judge Wapner of laundry. What the fuck? Solve it yourselves. Because inevitably someone will come down to me and they'll be like, hey man, did you lock the door? No, I didn't. And then it turns out this guy Mike locked the door, and then because that's what he does, because he's sleeping, and he's like, hey, I'm in bed and you're not supposed to do laundry after 11 o'clock. Well, you know what, Mike? No offense, but people have lives. Sometimes they got to do their fucking laundry at 11 o'clock. That's why we need houses, folks. That's why we need to get out of these ant farms and get houses. Let's all get houses. Actually, check that. Let's all get a house. Let's get like the big Schmidt house, like a big fucking 40-year-old boy house. We'll all live together and it'll be fun. All right, so but we'll have to have a pool, though. It's very important. So, how great would that be if we all had a clubhouse? Oh my God, like the Funny Company. We all lived together, and there was an Indian who made a noise, and we all lived there. It would be amazing. Like the 40-year-old boy, friends and family and fun. It's a lot of F's. I can't let that go. I want. Like, did you ever see Singles? And they all like lived in the building. They all interacted. I just want a building of all 40-year-old boy people. I need to buy an apartment building and then rent it to people who like the show. That's what I need to do. Put it on the list. It'll be amazing. I'll never leave my house. Everybody else will do their thing, and they'll talk about how great I am, and I'll just listen. And then at night, I'll sneak around the hallways and listen at their doors. That's perfect. So I hear somebody swimming, and the courtyard is on my list of stops. All right, I have to walk through a bunch of things and check a bunch of doors, and I go check the roof because I don't have to do these things, by the way. I do it because I'm playing Mafia. Like I'm hoping to stumble into somebody or to find somebody hiding or doing something, but in reality I don't want to do that, but I do. Like the exciting part of me wants to, but the real part of me is like, no, because that means I got to do shit. I don't want to do that. I just want to walk through halls and listen to the doors, and then go back down to my office and do nothing. So I hear the person splashing about, and I go out and I start walking around, and then it finally comes time where I'm about to go into the courtyard, and I walk into the courtyard, and the person is swimming, and I see them, they're doing lap swimming. They're not just like floating; they're actually swimming, so it's making noises, and I wait for them to get to the end and stop with their lap swimming, and he pokes his head up, and I go, hey. He's like, oh, hey, dude. And I said, hey, you probably shouldn't be out swimming at 2:30 in the morning. And he's like, oh, is there a rule against it? I'm like, I don't know. I said, I just know that they're probably not happy about it. I go, they want laundry past 11 o'clock, so they probably don't want you swimming out here at 2:30. I said, look, I don't care. I don't live here. I'm just telling you that if somebody's going to complain, I'm serious. I do that all the time. I had another sister. All right, this happened the other day. There's a chick who lives in this building, all right, and I talked about her on here before, and she's very nice. She brought me a sandwich a couple of times. Like, she made me like a whole plate of food. Like, here's a sandwich and some raisins, you know what I mean? And she's very nice. But then she does sneaky shit, and I'm supposed to turn my head. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to look the other way. Well, she's got all these tweakers who fucking live with her, and it's like, whatever the fuck, I don't care. But they avoid me, all right? Because she gives them keys, so they always come in a different door, and when I hear the door, I know they're there. And also, I think I said that she brought a dog into the building. Did I tell you that story? She brings a dog in. And I've seen the dog, and I'm like, you can't have a dog here. And she's like, oh, well, it's just for tonight. I'm like, and I don't give a fuck. I don't live there, all right? It does not matter to me. It's not incumbent upon me to be the fucking dog catcher, all right? I work down at the front office, and that's it. If the owner wants to catch them, smuggling Scooby in some side entrance, that's fine. It's on him. It's on them. It's not on me. I'm not the dog catcher. But it still drives me crazy when they do it, because it makes me think that they think I'm stupid and I don't know that they're doing something they're not supposed to do. That's ridiculous. It's foolish. I should just fucking do my thing and mind my own business. But I just hate the fact that people think they're getting one over on me. Like, I just want to walk out and shoot the dog in the head. Literally, I just want to. And it seems mean. That seems harsh. But if you saw this dog is nothing but ribs and snout. It is like, because it's a tweaker who owns it. She got fucking tattoos and dreads, and she's sleeping in cars and shit. It's like, dude, why do you have a dog if that's the case? Pardo used to do a bit on that. It made me laugh my ass off. Pardo used to do a bit about a homeless guy with a dog. It's fucking hysterical. And it's true. I mean, it's like every time you see a homeless guy with a dog, you just want to go, dude, I don't understand. If you don't care about your life, why are you sucking this guy into it? I understand you want companionship, or you need somebody to lick your dirty face at night because you can't get to the ocean and wash. I don't know how the fuck you handle your business. But I do know that dog is furious that he wound up, because there are dogs who live in purses. There is a race of dogs who only live in rich people's purses. They're like gerbils or hamsters. They're like in a habit trail. They live in Prada bags. There is a race of dogs that lives exclusively in Prada bags, and you're on the goddamn street feeding your dog cigarette butts. Show some fucking initiative and get this dog a Prada bag. Of course, homeless people never have teacup poodles. No, they always have big fucking dogs, which means you got to buy more food to feed them. Why don't you get a tiny fucking Prada bag dog? Literally, it could lick your mustache and be full for a week. You're a hobo. You're full of grit. Made me laugh. You're a hobo. You're full of grit. Your mustache is full of grit. All right. I don't know. Well, I almost couldn't talk there because I laughed. Like I left a weird silent laugh. Like because normally if I laugh, it's like a crazy fun laugh. But that one was just that snuck up on me. Holy shit, that was funny. You're a hobo. You're full of grit. That's got to be the name of the show, I would imagine. You're a hobo. You're full of grit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm actually crying. I don't know why that made me laugh so stupidly. And because you know what? Look, this show should just be called Hobos in the Graveyard Job. Honestly, every time I tell you a story, it's about something that happened in the graveyard job or I've had a run-in with a hobo. God damn it. I need to get out more. I need to get a new job, a new gig. I understand they're hiring an amalgamated fever blister. If my email is to be believed. They're a subsidiary of Leg Spreader and Sons. All right. Stop. She knows what I do. She tried to hire me, for fuck's sake. Besides, I don't think she has any capability of hearing this show. Doesn't she? She lives in a train car. All right. I don't know. She's constantly on the road. Every time I see her, she's on the road somewhere doing something interesting. Interesting seems strong. So, folks, what was I talking about? So this dog, so they have this crazy dog, and he's a bag of bones. He's just, and he shouldn't be there. But I can't imagine. But again, it's not my job. It's not my job. My job is to protect the cars, folks. That's all I do. All right. But they shuttle in and out, and the tweakers are just, and they're all wearing. Look, anytime people show up wearing tank tops in the middle of the night with like visible tattoos and streaky blonde hair, oh, they're tweakers and they're chewing, awful. But I don't care. Like I said, it's not my gig. I protect the cars and that's it. So I'm in the building last night, and a car alarm goes off. Time to spring into action, folks. Look, I've walked the perimeter. I do all those things. Those are all for me, but this is actually my job. Protect the cars at all costs. So I leap into action. I sprint out of the office. Not sprint, but I get up and I walk at a good clip. And I get out into the garage. And as I enter the garage, there's a garage door. There's two gates. And I see one of the gates opening. And when the gate's opening, I see one of the tweakers, Lady Dread Tweaker, with her bag of bones dog on a fucking leash. And they're running. They run out of the parking garage through the opening gate. Now, look, again, if you want to walk around and drop microdots and have your dog eating garbage out of a dumpster, that's up to you. Whatever you want to do is fine. I don't care. I pretend to not care. I pretend to not be involved. You walk past me. I look the other way for you and all your fucking nefarious activities until you fuck with the cars. Because now I got to get involved. So I see her walk out, and she goes, and I track her. I see her. She goes around the corner. So I cut through, and I go through the front door. And as she comes around, because she's going to go in the side door, I know where she's going exactly. And she walks up with the bag of bones dog. And I mean, let's put it this way. I had never seen the dog in the light. I had seen the dog periodically as they drifted through the lobby with it. And I've also seen the dog sleeping in a car in the parking garage, because I'll walk through and they let the dog sleep with the windows open. Look, this is how horrible it is. This is horrible. There's a car and they have the windows open and the dog is in there and they have like newspaper on the floor of the car.
Oh, God.
And they have a bowl of food and water. So it's like a little doggy apartment where he can like eat everything and shit and do all that kind of stuff, because they're going to leave him there all night long. And again, the windows are down so he can breathe. It's not hot. It's fine for him because he's a dog, and what the fuck? He's going to die soon anyway. Jesus Christ. I can see his heart beating. That's how fucking terrible this dog is. So, and I don't say anything. I don't give a fuck. He's sleeping in their car. He doesn't bark. I don't give a, if he starts barking, then it's a problem. I don't care. But you start fucking with the cars, I got to get involved. So I walk outside. She comes around the corner. And I go, hey. And she goes, hi, sir. And I go, because I've seen her many times going in and out. And I say hello to her. You know, she'll show up on a bike at 2:30 in the morning. You know, I'm surprised that she's back from Burning Man this quick, quite frankly. And I just look at her and I go, hey, what did you do in there? She goes, what? And I go, what are you doing to the cars? I go, why did the alarm go off? And she goes, I don't know what you're talking. I go, yeah, you do know what I was talking about. I saw you run out as there was a car alarm. I saw it. What are you doing in there? Well, you know, I think it was the dog. He bumped into the car, and it's just, I'm really sorry. And I go, don't, really? You're going to tell me the dog bumped into the car and it set off the car alarm? I go, listen to me. I look the other way for you all the time. I know you don't live here. I know you're with this girl, you know, the other person who I do know. I go, you bring the dog in. The dog's not allowed here. You're not even allowed here. All right. But I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But you fuck with the cars, and I got to get involved. I got to do something. What's your name? And she tells me her name. And she goes, you know, you can search me. I didn't do anything. I didn't take anything from the cars. I promise. You know, you can search me right now if you want. I go, look, I'm not a cop. All right. I barely want to do what I'm doing. But I'm telling you, if shit starts disappearing from cars, they're going to come to me, and I'm going to have to give your name. Because I know you don't live here, and now I know you're walking around the cars and you're setting alarms off. Well, it was totally an accident. My dog, he's sick, and sometimes he bumps into it. I go, I don't care. I don't care about your story. I'm just telling you right now, I have your name, and I know you're staying with your friend, and I'll talk to her when I see her. I go, but you can't fuck with the cars. The second you start fucking with the cars is when I got to come out here and talk to you. I'm so sorry, sir. You can search me if you want. I would never do anything like that. I go, you did do something like that. Whether it was an accident or not, you set off a car alarm. I'm involved. And she's 19. You know what I mean? And she's fucking, and I just, you know, I fancy myself a child a lot of the time. You know what I mean? I try to live my life, and I pay my bills, and I do this, but I still try to be, you know, I'm young. I'm not. I'm old. I'm 45 years old. I get it. I'm double this girl's age. More than double. Fucking 2.5 times her age, for fuck's sake. So that's when it becomes real that you're a person, and you're an authority figure, and your life has spiraled off into this fucking direction, and there's nothing you can do about it. So she was like, all right, well, I'm real sorry. I go, that's fine. And she walked off. And it's funny, as bad as her life is, as she's got her tank top and her fucking tattoo, you know, a calf tattoo and tattoos on both shoulders and fucking dreads down to her waist, and a dog that's ready to die at any second. It got that much worse for her when I was her authority figure. I mean, if I'm your authority figure, you have done something terribly wrong in your life. I am not the person to give you any sort of life advice or guidance. Believe me, I am sitting in a fucking office at a graveyard job doing fucking nothing, waiting for Wednesday when I can be myself, the one day a week when I can actually do something that I'm qualified for. So she disappears. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, I wanted nothing to do with it. I hate doing that, but fuck that. You start fucking with the cars, I got to get involved. So a couple hours goes by, and there's a car trying to get in, but it's not getting in to the gate. You have to use a key to get in. So there's a car just sitting at the gate, and I can hear it idling, which drives me crazy because I have to be waiting to see what the fuck happens. Finally, because, all right, look, I know exactly what it is. It's a person who's coming to visit the same woman who's letting the tweakers live with her. It's one of the tweakers, because they sit there and wait at the gate until she comes down with her key, and she opens the door and lets them park in the parking garage where they're not supposed to park. But she knows that these spots aren't occupied because the apartments are empty, so she lets and I don't give a shit. I don't care. As long as nobody bitches about it, park there. It doesn't matter to me. It's like if someone wanted to come in and spray graffiti all over all the cars, if everybody in the building had left a note that said, hey, I don't mind graffiti on my car, fucking go for it. I don't care. I'm not trying to do anything above and beyond what the fuck I'm supposed to do, ever, in life. That's why I'm here with you now. So, like I said, this is about 3 hours after what had happened with Dreads. So, it turns out it's the woman who lets all these people stay with her. And I walk over because they got the car parked and they're unloading a bunch of stuff to bring up in the elevator. Again, grab hold of the reins of your life. You got a car full of junk. You're unloading it. You're letting people ride bikes in, and they stay at your house for free. And they sleep on. And it's funny. I've helped this woman to her apartment with stuff before. She had a bunch of stuff, and she's told me, she's like, "Oh, you don't ever have to help. It's fine." Well, one time she needed help, so I carried a bunch of stuff upstairs. And when she opened the door, she almost had to force her door open because it's filled. The house is filled. I half expected Red Fox to come out and say hello. I mean, it was just that fucking. There is so much fucking junk. Rollo with a goat is living across the hallway. That's how fucking bad it is. I know Rollo didn't own the goat. The fucking Cuban guy owned the goat. Whatever, who cares? One guy who likes Sanford and Son is going to write me and be furious that I thought Rollo owned a goat. And Fred, by the way, he never lived there. He just staying. Oh, shut the fuck up, Sanford and Son trivia king. Don't make me sick Grady on you. I'll drop a Whitman Mayo bomb on you, motherfucker. All right, yeah, that's awful. All right, that's a loud yelling. And by the way, you should never yell Whitman Mayo, motherfucker. That is the weakest battle cry in the history of battle cries, because Grady couldn't even stand up straight. Nobody's scared of you if you yell Whitman Mayo, motherfucker. Whitman Mayo, motherfucker. God damn it, bullshit. I make it scary. That is scary. Actually, I go the other way. That is the scariest battle cry you can ever have, because nobody knows who the fuck Whitman Mayo is. And then when they realize you're yelling the name of Grady from Sanford and Son, they're like, oh my God, this guy has nothing to lose. He's invoking a bit player from a 70s sitcom. We're in trouble. That's like if you were to yell, Charles Fleischer, motherfucker! And I don't mean Roger Rabbit, Charles Fleischer. I mean fucking Carvelli from goddamn Welcome Back, Kotter. That's right. I invoke a bit player from a 70s sitcom, and you're in trouble! All right. Anyway, I go to talk to this woman, and this junk merchant. And I get over by her car, and again, she's got a nice car. She's got a big Suburban. I mean, I somewhere her life went off track. She's a hoarder, I guess. I don't know what those people are. So I walk up to her and I go, hey, and she was with a friend, and they were unloading their car. I said, you guys need help? She said, no. I said, can I borrow you for a minute? And she goes, what for? I said, I got to talk to you. And she goes, well, about what? I said, can I borrow you for a minute? Take a walk with me and we'll talk. And she goes, well, it's late. If you want to talk to me here. And I went, oh, well, let's see how snooty you are when I tell you that you can't have the army of tweakers coming here anymore. But I looked at her and I go, the girl with the dog. And she goes, uh-huh. And I go, she was down here in the parking garage and set off a car alarm. And then when I came out to find her, she ran. She like skittered outside. And she goes, that doesn't sound like her at all. I go, I agree. But she did it. What do you mean that doesn't sound like her? I mean, she's a fucking tweaker who rides a bike, has a dog that hasn't eaten in days, and she sleeps on your fucking free couch. What the fuck do you think? What did you expect her to be? What? I'd expect her to be in an evening gown, getting dropped off by a limousine. No, look at her. She's a walking hacky sack. And she goes, that doesn't sound like her. And I go, well, I guess not, but I mean, it happened. And she's like, well, the thing is, you got to understand that, I love her dearly, but she's got some problems and she's really all screwed up. And she launches into this fucking explanation. And I'm just going, look, I don't care. I don't care. I go, I'm just telling you. I go, she comes in here with the dog. The dog doesn't belong here. They don't live here. They stay with you. I go, I don't care. I look the other way on all of it. That's fine. I see it every night. I hear them come in. They think I don't see them. They think they're fooling me. They're not. I go, but I never say anything because I don't care. You're here. You live here. That's fine. It's not my job to chase you out. It's your apartment. Do what you want. But the second they fuck with cars, I have to get involved. I said, I made her give me her name. If anything goes missing from cars, her name is the first name I'm giving. Well, you have to understand, she would never do anything like that. I go, I that's fine. But she did. And they go, well, it was probably the dog. Maybe the dog jumped up on the car. I go, that dog's not jumping anywhere. Are you kidding me? She goes, she said the dog may have bumped into this car. And they go, well, what car was it? I go, it's not important what car it was. What do you care what car it was? I go, it's a car over there and the alarm went off. Well, maybe it was just an accident. I go, I'm sure it was. I'm not saying she did anything wrong, but I'm telling you, she was in the garage with the dog. She doesn't live here. The dog doesn't belong here. And they set off a car alarm, so I have to fucking get involved. And she goes, well, yeah, but you don't understand, she got a long history of family life, and she stays on my couch, and then she's got the bike, and then the dog is here, and that dog's going to die any day, and it's got arthritis, and it's really wobbly, and she probably wasn't lying when she said that. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Take your fucking story walking, wrap it up in a fucking stinky tank top, and impale it at Burning Man, because I don't give a shit about the dreadlocked sob story you're dropping in my fucking lap. Don't steal shit out of a fucking car. You want to run a halfway house for these motherfuckers? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. From the stairs to your apartment, from the apartment to the fucking street, they can do whatever the fuck they want. But when they're in the goddamn parking lot, I have to get involved. I have to be 45 years old. I have to face up to the fact that I've gotten myself into this position where I'm some sort of fucking wayward authority figure for tweakers who come in and out of this fucking apartment building. Keep your story. It don't mean shit to me. Her story don't mean shit to me. Your story don't mean shit to me. Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. All right, straight up racist. The sucker was, simple and plain. Motherfuck him and John Wayne. That's right. I'll drop Public Enemy right in your goddamn face. You start explaining away this tank top chick. I'm ready, I'm hyped, and I'm amped. Most of my heroes don't appear on no stamp. Sample a look and you'll find nothing but rednecks for 400 years if you check. Don't worry, be happy it was a #1 jam. Fucking Chuck D! Let's get this party started right. Right on. Fight the power. That's what I say. Unfortunately, I'm the power in this equation. God damn it. Fight the power. That's what they're doing. I'm trying to make them not fight the power. But she just starts dropping a sob story. And I even said to her, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And she had a friend there, too, like backing her up. And the friend was like in a nice business suit, like looked normal. And again, this girl is normal. They're normal people. They have a nice car and a great job. But it's like, I don't give a shit, man. If you're running this fucking rehab for these kids, I don't give a fuck. But I don't want to deal with it. Now, you know who I am? I'm the de facto owner of the building. At night, I own the building. God damn it, I hate it. I hate owning that building. Forget that idea I had about buying an apartment building, folks. So she finally just said, yeah, you know what, I'll talk to her or whatever. I go, fine. I go, talk to her or whatever you got to do. I don't care. But she kept trying to explain it and trying to make it okay. I go, you're not going to make it okay. I don't care. Whatever you have to do is fine. I just want you to know that I have her name, and if shit hits the fan, that's the first name I give. That's it. Well, she would never do it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Yeah, so that happened last night, folks, as I had to fucking be a goddamn rent-a-cop and walk around. And the thing is, too, here's what drives me crazy. I'm just a big fat guy. You know what I mean? And I don't dress nice to go to work. I'll wear shorts or I'll wear sweatpants and my hair's all fucked up because nobody's going to see me. I'm there at night and I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I wear, and this is not even a joke, I wear ripped t-shirts. Like I wear the shirts I work out in. They're big fucking, because I'm not going to waste my good clothes on the graveyard gig. Fuck that. I always feel bad when I have a show or we go out and then I have to get right over to the job and I'm wearing like jeans and a nice shirt. And I'm like, God, why am I wasting this on these motherfuckers? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to waste jeans and a nice shirt on yelling at a fucking tweaker with a dog. I should be dressed like a goddamn hobo. Although I'm surprised the dog didn't tackle me and lick my face last night because I looked terrible. And I was full of grit. God damn it, that made me laugh earlier. Remember that earlier when I was funny? All right. So, yeah, I walked the perimeter. What are you shaking your head at me for? So that happened last night. I've had fucking 3 weeks ago. I was going to talk about this on here, too, and I got sidetracked by fucking, being rich and melting a gold fork. But, these two dudes came in and they were just drunk and acting like assholes in the lobby. And they just, and like I said, it's like when I was a bouncer. I fucking hated being an authority figure because it's like, everybody's like, we're having fun and there's the man. And it's like, I'm not the man, I'm you, but I'm just not stupid. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just need to make sure that you don't hurt yourself or others. That's the only reason I'm here. So these fucking drunk dudes come in and they're like walking all over the lobby and they're laughing at me. You know what I mean? Like, ha ha. Just fuck you. I want to murder you. Because that's the thing. I could do that. I could murder them and claim they drew on me. Because as most authority figures, I carry a gun with tape on the butt. So I could just kill them with my bare hands and then fire a shot into the wall. You saw Confidential, right? We all saw that. I could do that in a second. Think about that, folks. If you want to move into the 40-year-old boy building, don't give me any fucking lip because I'll beat you to death with my bare hands and then I will use a fucking fake gun and have you shoot into a wall with your handprints on it. Done. And then you'll be implicated in the night owl slayings. All right. What was I talking about? The building?
Two drunk guys.
They were just, you know what? It's funny. Guy. All right. Two drunk guys first. Two drunk guys show up and they're laughing at me and they go upstairs. And then they come back downstairs. And they're in the lobby laughing, and then they go upstairs, and they're loud all the way up the stairs. Clomp, clomp, clomp. High five. And I hear them go into the first floor, stomping on the floor. So some time goes by, and one of them comes back, the one who doesn't live in the building. He comes downstairs, and he sits in the lobby. And that's the worst, because, I'm in my office, but then I can see the lobby. But there's just that weird tension that there's another guy there, and I have to babysit him, and I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And he's drunk, so if he vomits, it's going to be bad. So I'm just waiting. And finally he stands up and he goes, "Did you find my keys?" And I go, I didn't know your keys were lost. He goes, "I lost my keys." I'm like, "All right." He goes, "I got to find them." And he goes back upstairs. Because again, you're drunk. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, this is probably going to be bad. Sure enough, the elevator happens and he comes down in the elevator and he walks out and he goes, "The keys aren't in the elevator." You hadn't used the elevator. I didn't say it, but he had not used the elevator previous. He had gone up and down the stairs. If they're anywhere, they're probably in the stairs because they were clomping around and acting like assholes. So he walks out into the parking garage. And now he's my problem. Okay, in the lobby I can keep an eye on him. He goes in the parking garage. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. So he goes into the parking garage, and I hear a car open, and he starts rummaging through it, and then he slams the door. So I expect him to come back in, and time goes by, and I'm waiting. He does not come back in. So about a half hour later, I walk out into the parking lot, and he's asleep in the car. And I knock on the window, and he looks up, "Huh." And I go, you can't sleep in the parking garage." He's like, "That other guy's an asshole." And I said, "Great. You can't sleep in the parking garage." He goes, "Well, all right, I'll go, but I got to find my keys." "Did you find my keys?" And I go, "They're not in the elevator." And he goes, "All right, but they're not in the car." I said, "You can't sleep in the car." I just want him the fuck out of there. So he gets out of the car, and then he starts to, again, looks in the back seat. He looks all over. He goes, "I have a rental car, and I need the keys for it to turn it in." And I was like, "Well, why don't you just go sleep? Because it's 3 a.m. You're not turning it in tonight, right?" "But I need the keys." "Fine." So he rummages through the car, and then he gets up, and he goes upstairs. I go sit at the desk. And then the elevator goes up to the first floor. I'm like, son of a bitch. So the elevator comes down. And it opens up, and nobody gets off. I'm like, all right, what the fuck? So I just sit in the desk, and I'm like, whatever. Maybe he found them, and he at the last second. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Again, I don't care. He's out of the parking garage. He's not my fucking problem anymore, unless somebody calls me and goes, "Hey, there's some asshole rummaging through my apartment looking for keys." So I'm sitting there at the desk, and I walk around, and I walk the garage, I fuck around, I look, I make sure everything's fine. I look for keys, because what the hell else am I doing? Guy comes with the newspapers, puts them out front, and I deliver the newspapers. Okay. Now, this was, again, like 3 weeks ago when I was still taking the elevator, before I had incorporated the stairs into my training regimen, which you'll hear about later. So I go over to the elevator, and I press the elevator button, and it opens, and the guy is sleeping in the elevator, laying on the floor. So when it came down and it opened and I said nobody got off, yeah, nobody got off because he was lying on the floor of the elevator sleeping. And so I did what any good person would do. I kicked him in the stomach. Not hard, but enough to get his attention. And I kind of booted him just like a little bit to wake him up. And he's like, "Ah." And I grabbed him, I shook him by the shoulder. He's like, "What?" And I go, you can't sleep in the elevator. What's wrong with you?" He's like, "I lost my keys." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, where does your friend live?" And he's like, "Oh, he's an asshole." And I go, "I understand that, but you need to get him or you need to leave the building. You can't sleep in the car or in the elevator." So he's like, "Oh, all right." And we rode the elevator up to 1. And he got off at 1, and he went down to his buddy's apartment, and then I closed the elevator, and I went up to deliver the papers. And that was it. I didn't care. I don't care if he fell asleep in the laundry room. I don't give a shit if he could have laid right outside the elevator on the first floor, because, again, he's not my problem at that point. If I don't see him, he's not my problem. But then the next day, I saw the guy the guy who lives there, and he walked in, and I said, "You take care of your friend last night?" He goes, "Oh, man, he was drunk." And I go, "Yeah, you were pretty drunk, too." He's like, "Yeah, he lost his keys or something." And I go, "He was sleeping in the elevator." And he just starts laughing. He goes, "What?" I go, "He tried to sleep in your car, and then he slept in the elevator on the ground." He goes, "Oh, that's hilarious." Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. He goes, "Well, no, we found his keys. They were in my house." I'm like, "Great. I don't care." Fucking... I need to get a real job, folks. I need anything to escape. So I come out at 2:30 in the morning earlier this week, and a guy's swimming. And he's doing lap swimming, and then he's in the pool talking to me. And I go, look, they probably don't want you swimming. They don't want laundry so late. They're probably going to get mad if you're swimming. And I go, and plus, it's, you're splashing. I go, if you were just in the pool, I go, I wouldn't care. But I'm just warning you. I'm not telling you to get out of the pool because, again, I don't care. I'm just warning you that someone's probably going to complain. He's like, oh, okay. And so he gets out of the pool. He's naked.
Of course.
He's skinny dipping by himself at 2:30 in the morning. And I didn't see, because again, he's lap swimming, so there's like suds and whatever the fuck, when you're kicking your legs. And I saw skin, but I didn't think anything. And then when he's talking to me, he's in the pool, so I just see him from the chest up. He emerges from the pool. I just see his ass. His hairy ass gets out of the pool. And then he turns around to talk to me, and he's just, his cock out in the breeze. He's just talking. He's like, yeah, it's really hot. It's hot in my apartment. I go, all right. I go, look, they didn't want you swimming at 2:30 in the morning. I guarantee nobody wants to see you naked at 2:30 in the morning, because there's the courtyard, the windows look out into the pool. And he's like, oh yeah, it's just so hot. And I go, yeah, you stop. Just, you can't do that. And he's like, oh, okay. And he walks over and he grabs a towel and he dries off, and he wraps the towel around himself. He came downstairs naked to swim. He walked out of his apartment on 2. He walked all the way through the hallway naked with a towel around him, rode the elevator, I'm sure, naked, and then dove into the pool naked. I don't know how long he'd been out there. Like I said, he could have been out there for fucking hours. I have no clue. But he's naked swimming at 2:30 in the morning and didn't bring pants with him. And he just wraps his towel around. And he's like, oh yeah, this is, and he's trying to talk to me. And my whole time I'm just like, I saw your cock. I had no interest in seeing your cock tonight at work, ever. Yeah, let me amend that. Not at work, put ever in there. Because I just said at work ever. No, take the at work out. I had no interest in seeing his cock ever. He's a nice guy. I've said hello to him many times as he's going in and out of the building, but holy shit, dude, put your cock away. No, I don't care. I don't care how fucking hot it is. Take a cold shower. Do something. And that's a community pool. It's not like... there are children who live in the building. Like, it's so funny. Look, I have a pool. All right. All right. I'm not unfamiliar with doing horrible things in a pool. All right. Let's put it that way. My wife and I had sex in our apartment complex pool. And it was late at night, and it was that thing where, again, same thing. People could look out and see us if they wanted. I didn't care. I'm not let's put it this way. I'm not averse to that. I'll throw that out there. And I should tell you this, we weren't having, it wasn't the movie Showgirls. All right, my wife was not fucking Elizabeth Berkley flailing about as Kyle MacLachlan stood there and looked horrified that he was fucking a demon out of her, okay? It was, we were kind of floating in an embrace, and then, someone slid their leg one way, and then someone moved their shorts one way, and then, hey, guess what? We're making a baby. And it was like that kind of sex. It was that thing where you're just kind of floating in place, but it was like, and that thing where you're looking in each other's eyes, and you realize what you're doing, but nobody else knows what you're doing. That's kind of cool. So that was happening. But that was because we did that. There were no children living in our building at the time. Sure, there were people there, but they also cleaned our pool like twice a week, so we didn't care. And it wasn't a horrifying thing. Again, whatever. Look, it was bad. All right, it was bad. I get it. But luckily, there was no security guard to come out and tell us we couldn't do it, so that's fine. But now that there's children in my building, and the second children got into our building, that was it. I was like, we can't. I'm never doing that again, ever. But this guy, there's kids he didn't give a fuck. He's just walking around. And my favorite part is he walked naked from his apartment. I think he lives on 3, actually. So that's another floor of nudeness. Did I make up a word, nudeness? I think so. No, it's pronounced clitoris.
There's like you can do any chords. These are like 50s chords, old.
That's like a Shirelle song or something. David Watson, bop, shoo bop, oh David Watson, bop, shoo bop, David Watson, bop, shoo bop, But where are you? Bop, shoo, bop, Atlanta, 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 Watson. Bop, shoo, bop, bop, away, oh, David Watson. Bop, shoo, bop, hip, bop, oh, David Watson. Bop, shoo, bop, where are you? Atlanta, 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 Atlanta.
Oh, David Watson.
Put your tiny hand in mine. David Watson, under the moon swear you'll always be mine. David Watson, we shall walk together in eternity. David Watson. Atlanta, 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 Atlanta. I'm leaving, folks. I should leave. I want to leave. I shouldn't even be here today. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. I was like Dante and Clerks. That's a lie. I love doing shows for you on Wednesdays, but this week there was a certain thing that I had to do today that I should have thought about, and I should have moved the show, but then I didn't. But it didn't matter. What do you care? I should. You know what? Hold on. You do care. Everybody cares. I should just tell you what I'm talking about. Instead of talking in fucking circles like a dope. Folks, today is my wedding anniversary. So I should not be here. I should be off with my wife somewhere interesting or fun. But she had to work today, so I figured I could come in and squeeze in the podcast. And I was going to get her at 2 o'clock, but then poor Lily had to go to the doctor, so we had to start at 3. All right, here's the thing. I would get her at 4. I've told you this. Well, and I'm just making the show longer by telling you this stuff. But I changed the start time to 2 because I got tired of leaving here at fucking 10 o'clock at night. I've told you this, too. Even I told people this, right, that we changed the time. God damn it. All right, just cut all this out. Cut it all out. No? Ugh. Why is Lily the boss of me? I wish Lily wasn't the boss of me on Wednesdays. It's my wedding anniversary. You're not the boss of me. My other boss. I go to my other boss. I would say boss a million times, boss. I just saying boss. All right. So I was going to get out of here early, but then we wound up sitting here and debating and talking. And Lily's, we looked at Prince GIFs for like an hour. Because I told her, I'm like, did you ever see that GIF of Prince where they like slide by? And you said GIFs, but I say GIFs. Am I wrong? What's it stand for?
The guy who created them on, he called them gifts.
All right, well, there you go.
When I was doing the technology show. But he goes, call it anything you want. Call it a clitoris.
Ah.
I brought it back.
Sure, nicely done.
Horrible.
Wow, look at you. Now you sound like me, for fuck's sake. So, folks, I need to... so I was going to do part of a show and then throw in a story that was relevant, that would be in celebration of today being my anniversary, and then I was like, I got to talking, and then I didn't see a place for it, and I just did that a few weeks ago. I did that where I was doing a show and I threw in a story, and the funny thing was that show, I think I talked for like an hour and a half and then still jammed a fucking story into the end of it for no reason. But I gotta take off now. I gotta go. So I'm debating. Should we turn to Facebook? Should we ask them if I should put in a story? That's what we did the last time, right? Isn't that what we did?
Oh, yes, and see how well that turned out. A 7-hour show.
It worked out fine. Well, believe me, people were happy about it because they care. Everybody cares. You and I don't care. I mean, I care about the show. I just don't care how long it is. You know what I mean? Well, actually, bullshit. I do care how long it is. And that's why I'm here padding it with this nonsense, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, shut up. I should just walk out. I don't know what we're doing because it's funny. My wife and I, that's all we do is we eat out or we go out and we do stuff. So it's really hard for us to make plans and make them special plans and go, oh, yeah, this is our thing. We'll do this. Well, why? But it's not like we're home with the kids all the time and then we get a sitter and we get one night to ourselves. Every night we have to our fucking selves. So they all kind of bleed in. It's like when you're unemployed. When you're not working, Saturday and Sunday mean nothing to you because every day is fucking Saturday and Sunday. It's not like you ever get a break. What are you taking a break from? Taking a break? Oh, man, I need a break from my weekday breaks. The weekend feels so great. The weekdays are kind of like the weekend, but it's not. It does without all the accoutrement. It's like the weekdays are just Saturday and Sunday, but less crowded when you're unemployed. Well, when you don't have kids and we go out all the fucking time, it's hard to make your anniversary super special. So, I didn't know. I figured we'd just go have sushi or do whatever. And also because we spent this past weekend out. We ate out like every single night with people. All right, I'll tell you that. All right, here's what we did. There's listeners to this show who are very nice people. Our friends Judd and Nicole. They listen to the show forever. Like all right, look, I don't know the setup. I think this is what I think. I think Judd listened to me on Never Not Funny. And then he wound up having a blind date with Nicole. And this, I actually heard this. This part I know is true. They had a blind date and they drove, because I don't want to say where they live. They live somewhere remote. And then they had to drive. They had to drive to a big city. All right. So that was their blind date. Was they drove to this big city together, and on the drive he had her listen to me, which makes absolutely no sense. What makes even less sense is that now they're married. I don't know how that first night she's listening to me on the drive to the major city and just going, I can't wait till we get to an urban area where I can flag down help. Why would he ever think this was a good idea to play on a first date? And I almost, part of me, I should have asked, I'd like to know what show it was. I'd like to know actually what specific episodes it was, because I want to know what subject matter she fucking sat through on that drive and still went, yeah, this is the guy for me. I mean, that just seems crazy. And also, let's be honest, if you've got a guy and he takes you on a blind date and then he plays me for you for the first hour and a half, I'm sorry, ladies, if you're going to decide on any guy being the guy for you on that trip, that guy's got to be me, right? How do you sit in a car and he's totally silent and you listen to me? So no, you know what? Even now I'm closing the deal for guys. Even fucking now. I told you I used to go to strip clubs and my buddy Sam would just sit there and just be good looking while I talked to strippers and made them laugh, and then he'd fuck them while I went home and did nothing. And now that's how I am. I worked that with Judd and Nicole. God damn it, I closed the deal for Judd. When in reality, Nicole should love me. Nicole, you should love me. Sorry, Judd. Cut him loose. You should pine for me. You should just listen to my show and dream of being with me. That's what you should do, Nicole. That's right. Come on, seriously. I did all the work on that fucking drive. I did all the talking. Fall in love with me. So that happened. So Judd had listened to Never Not Funny, and then he listens to me on the show, and then he got her to listen, and then they wound up being together and winding up where they're going to get married. They actually invited us to their wedding. I've talked about them on here. I got a wedding invitation from them in my P.O. box, and I declined, unfortunately, but still chose the chicken. I did not, but that would have been funny for me. God, why doesn't Nicole love me? All right, so she should. Why doesn't she? She probably does. Judd is a surrogate Mike. That's the whole ruse. That's a lie. How mean am I to Judd? So anyway, they invited me to their wedding, and I could not go. And then they saw me in Denver. They actually came to the show in Denver and saw the One Man, which was great, and I got to meet them there, which was fun. Denver was a weird city, man, because I didn't hang out. It wasn't a Kickstarter city, so I didn't come to town early and have dinner or meet listeners. And then I have friends and family in Denver, so I hung out with them after the show. And it's funny, Judd and Nicole were like, yeah, we would have hung out and done something with you in Denver, but you were taken by your buddy. And what was funny is then I left with my friends in Denver. It was my buddy Jimmy O and Dennis, two guys from the UN of Evil. And we were together, and then this is what we did in Denver. I look, I'm sure you heard the show, but I'll tell you again. We left the theater, and I was starving, man. I had not eaten. We went to a grocery store, and I grabbed some bananas, and they grabbed like a 12-pack of beer, and literally we wound up back at Dennis's house eating leftover sushi food. And then Dennis went to bed because Dennis hadn't seen his wife or his fiance in a week. She was out of town, and she had just gotten back into town on Friday. He picked her up at the airport to go to my show. So then we got back to the house. He's like, yeah, well, we're going to bed, so I'll see you guys later. So Jimmy O and I set up and watched the Rockies replay while he drank beer. And I was like, somewhere out there, Nicole, who loves me, is waiting to have a meal with me at some point. How can I leave Nicole, who loves me, out in the cold? And Judd. That's what it'll be from now on. Nicole, who loves me, and Judd. So they've been very nice, and they like the show, and they actually were disappointed we didn't get to hang out in Denver. So a couple weeks ago, I get an email from my friend and Judd, and he writes me and says, "Hey, I am surprising Nicole with a trip down to Los Angeles. It's going to be 3 or 4 days. We are going to Disneyland." And I think I may have... Did I mention this on the show? Did I talk about this? Oh, I didn't, because it was supposed to be a surprise. He's like, yeah, we're probably going to go to Disneyland one of the days, and you're welcome to come with us if you'd like. We would love to get together with you for dinner anytime you have while we're in town. Anything you want to do. And we're looking forward to hanging out. Whatever you want, whatever you choose is great. And so I wrote back Judd and I said, actually, hold on. I think I ignored his first 2 emails. And then the date seemed to be rapidly approaching. So then I wrote him and I go, hey, yeah, man, I'm in. I said, he said he wanted to go to Animal Restaurant. Because I always talk about it here on the podcast. He's like, I'd love to go to Animal one of the nights, and then whatever else he wanted to do would be great. So I wrote him and I said, look, I'll make reservations at Animal. That's fine. I'll take care of it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Whatever you want to be here. So he wrote me back. He's like, that's great. We're really excited. And you know what? I've been to Hollywood before. I've been on Sunset Boulevard, so I know what it's like a little bit. And anything you wanted to take us to, any hijinks you wanted to get up to, anywhere you wanted to go, and whatever you wanted to see on any of the days that we were there, anything you wanted to do when we hung out would be fine. And I'm reading this email, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything with you at all except dinner. I'll do dinner. I've made myself entirely too accessible to you folks. I think I've mentioned that before. Because people will reach out and I'm like, hey, that's great. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a van with 4 people I've never met before. Which is fine, sort of, when I'm in a different city. But when I'm in my city, then it just gets odd. You know, everything seems to be fine. Everything's great. I exchange emails. And then the next thing you know, I'm in a 40-yard dash against a Canadian woman. I mean, it just... things fucking happen. So it was so funny. They're like, he's like, any hijinks you want to get? I don't want to get into any fucking hijinks. I don't want hijinks with me. I don't want hijinks with anybody, let alone people that are strangers. And believe me, you've heard the show. My hijinks are awful. I mean, granted, maybe I helped you woo Nicole and seal the deal on your marriage, but that's going to be a lot different when she's in one booth and I'm looking at her through a glory hole in the other booth going, hi, you comfortable? How's it going in there? You know who's in the next booth? It's me and Judd. That's the kind of hijinks I'm into, friends. It's not really. So, fucking, they write me, and I gingerly dance around the hijinks angle. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's going to be fun when you're in town. I mean, I don't know what to say. Because I don't want to fucking ruin the whole thing. I want them still to get on the plane. So I write him back, and he writes me back. He's all excited. Oh, my God, we're so happy. By the way, I had to tell Nicole. I'm sorry. I wanted it to be a surprise, but I'm so excited. I had to tell her what was happening, and we're looking so forward to the hijinks. Oh, my God, enough. So that happens, and then, like, I swear to God, 9 seconds later, I get an email from Nicole. Hello! And I open it up, and it's Nicole, who loves me, as we know. And she writes me, she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Judd told me, he said it was supposed to be a surprise and he wasn't supposed to tell me, but now he told me. But we're looking forward to coming, but I'm going to surprise him. I want you to do me a favor. Please bring 4 shirts to dinner. 2 for him and 2 for me. We really want them. Okay, don't tell him it's a surprise. Ha ha ha. Love you, Nicole. So I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. I'll get some shirts and that'll be fine. So I tell Karen, I go, hey, we are having dinner with listeners in like 2 weeks or something. She's okay. And then I told Lily. I asked Lily if she was willing to go. And she was, but she wasn't sure she was going to be able to. There was all sorts of burlesque and all this different stuff. And then she's been ill. She hurt her hip and her knee's bad and her jaw. It's just, and then she got food poisoning a couple of weeks ago. So that directly affects dinner. You know, I mean, that's awful. So, so last week, after I finished my show, I wrote Lily, and she was supposed to come over to my house also and help me with my taxes on Thursday. She canceled. She's like, man, I'm sick. I can't even get up. And I said, all right, that's fine. I said, does this affect dinner tomorrow? She goes, I'll let you know tomorrow. But right now it shouldn't, but we'll see. And then, you know, Friday comes. I'm awake, and Judd writes me a note. Sitting here at the airport in Denver waiting to fly up to see you. We're going to be in Burbank pretty soon, but I don't know what's happening exactly. I'm not sure what's going to be. And so he gave me his phone number. And he gave me Nicole's phone number. And so I texted him, and I said, hey, you know, that's great. I'm glad you're landing. Let me know when you go there and tell me where you're going to be. And, you know, we'll make it work. And as far as I know, we're still on for Animal. The reservations are at 10 o'clock. And I didn't tell him that Lily and Eddie were coming. He did not know that. So, and so because he asked me in his email, he's like, hey, man, we get off the plane at like 11. Do you want to have lunch? And I'm like, I'm having dinner with you tonight. I don't want to have lunch with you. But I didn't say that. I texted him and I said, hey, I don't think lunch is going to work. Still waiting to hear about what's going to happen tonight, but we're definitely on at 10 o'clock because I had made reservations at 10 o'clock, but they told me they may be able to move them up to earlier in the evening. So I said to him, I go, we're still waiting to hear, but let's assume 10 o'clock. And but I'm going to have to pass on lunch. And he's like, all right, no problem. I'm sitting here. We're just waiting here at the Phoenix airport, and it's going to be a weird delay, but that's fine. Nicole can't wait to see it. And just this text, and I'm like, oh my God, enough with the texts. Because I just, I pick up my phone. I'm like, oh, I got a message from Karen and Judd. So I contact Lily, and she says she's up for dinner, which is great. And I texted Judd and said, look, I'm going to sleep. Enjoy your trip in. Do whatever you're going to do today. I will text you again at 6 o'clock to let you know if the restaurant has called me to change anything. But look for my text when I wake up. Great, because we're in Phoenix right now, and it's amazing. We can't wait to be there. It's going to be so much fun, and Nicole is here, and you know that she loves you, and we're really excited to be. Oh, my God, stop texting me. I may be exaggerating about some of this. So, so I go to bed, and then I wake up, and Karen's home from work, and I'm like, all right, remember dinner's at 10. She said, great. And we watched a show, and then she had to go do something or run some errands, and I had to do some stuff, and she got ready, and I got ready. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't text Judd or Nicole. But where I left it was dinner at 10, unless you hear from me different. But I'll definitely text you at 6 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't. So we get dressed, Karen and I. We get showered. I get in the car. And here was another thing. I apologize. Let me go ahead and back up. I was going to pick them up. Because, they flew into Burbank, which is right by my house. So I wasn't going to pick them up from the airport, but I was going to pick them up for dinner. So I had texted him and I said, hey, I don't know where you're staying, but just tell me where and I'll pick you up and then we'll go to dinner. It'll be fine. And he said, oh, we're staying at 21, he gave me the address, on Avenue of the Stars, which is in Century City, which is past Animal for me. Like literally Animal is directly between Century City and me. It's like it's right at the halfway point. So I get that text and I wrote him back and I go, I am not picking you up. If you need me to, that's fine. But otherwise, you can meet us at the restaurant. Like I said, I'll text you at 6 o'clock. We'll try to make arrangements. Well, then I didn't text him at 6. And I get in the car and we're driving and we get to Animal and we park on the street. Karen and I, we walk up and nobody's there. We get there at about 20 to 10. We're a quarter to 10. I check in at the thing. Nobody's there. And I got my phone and it just says, hey, are we still on for dinner at Animal at 10 o'clock? And I looked at Karen and I go, this is going to be bad. She goes, why? I go, they're asking if we're still on for dinner in 15 minutes. And Karen's like, oh, no. Didn't you talk to him? And I go, yeah, I talked to him earlier. And she goes, well, when did you talk to him? I go, this morning. And she goes, what did you tell them? And I said, well, I told them the dinner was at 10 o'clock, but then I would text them at 6 o'clock with more information. She goes, you didn't text them at 6 o'clock, did you? And I said, nope. She goes, this is your fault. I go, yep. So I just texted back. I go, they said, are we still on for dinner at Animal at 10 o'clock? And I texted back, I hope so. We're here. It might not have been that. I might have just said no. You know what? I think at that point I was done being a smartass because I felt so bad about it. I think I just went, yeah, we're here. And they said, great, we'll look for parking. So that I didn't know what that meant, if they were in a helicopter or what the fuck. But sure enough, I'm standing there, and then I sent them a picture, and I sent them a picture of Karen. I texted a picture. I'm like, and so is Karen. I'm just being an idiot. And the car pulls up, and I just hear people get out of it, and they valet. I don't know if they've been circling the blocks since they got off the plane. I had no idea how it worked. But they were just waiting for the go-ahead on Animal, and then they valeted the car, and they got out, and they were very nice. They walked up, and I should tell you, they were dressed properly for a nice restaurant, as opposed to me. I was wearing just jeans and a nice T-shirt, and Karen said to me, she goes, are you going to wear like an overshirt or something? I said, no. I said, I'm not going to apply for a job there. I'm going to eat fucking sandwiches or whatever the fuck they have. And Judd gets out wearing a nice suit. And also monochromatic, little purple shirt, little purple tie, purple pocket square. I'm a fan. I love monochromatic. Nicole loves me. So they walk up and they're very nice. They say hello. We talk. And the four of us are standing outside and they don't know that Lily's coming, which is funny. And then all of a sudden I see Lily's cane wobbling up the street. And the two of them come up, and Lily and Eddie join us, and they're shocked. They're like, oh, my gosh, everybody hugs all around. And then we're waiting for our 10 o'clock table at 10:05 and then 10:10. and then 10:15. And then 10:25, we're still waiting for the table, and but they were very nice. They kept coming up and going, "We're just waiting for this party to leave." As soon as they've got their check, they've got their dessert, they're waiting. It was just this group of hipster people, and it's so funny. Karen's like pissed. She's just like, "They shouldn't let them do that. They should get them out of the restaurant." I go, "Fuck that." I go, "If you pay and you sit down to eat," I go, "I don't ever want anybody telling me that I have to leave a restaurant. If I go to a restaurant and I sit down to eat dinner, you can't. I won't leave until I'm ready to leave. I know you want to turn me over and you want to get somebody else in there, and I understand all the waiters out there now are fucking furious at me, but I tip well, all right? Because I know that I'm a fucking I forget what's the term. It's not a lingerer, but there's a term. God damn it. There's a waiter term for people who won't fucking leave. I think it's Mike. That's what it is. It's a schmitty. There's a schmitty party over there at fucking table 6. They won't fucking take off because they just want to, they want to turn and burn and make as much money as they possibly can. But I still tip well. But who fucking cares? Nobody cares. Well, wait, you care. Everybody cares. So finally that group leaves. We go in and we sit down, and Karen's just like, "I would have chased them out of here sooner." I'm like, "Of course you would, because you're 95 years old." I don't understand it. You go with me. You know how picky I am about sitting and seating and being chased out. Why would you chase those people out? But then again, maybe she hates being with me. Maybe she doesn't want to go and do those things. Why are you nodding? All right, so she told you things. I heard things. She heard things. So we sit down to eat, and I look at Judd and Nicole, and I'm like, all right, because we had looked at a menu outside. I go, "What are you guys up for?" And they're like, "Well, we're willing to kind of try anything." Nicole said so, because of course the love of her life is there. Meanwhile, Judd is like, "I'll take anything that makes Nicole love me more than you." Well, there's nothing on this menu that's going to do that, Judd. I'm very sorry about that. Idiot. So, I hope they enjoyed their one trip to Los Angeles. So Judd was like, because they had like crispy pig face. What was it called? No, crispy pig's head. They had crispy pig's head, and then they had fried pig ears, and then they had buffalo wing pigtails. They cook everything an animal, man. They do not fuck around. So I started saying, "Well, who wants what?" And Lily, I had forgotten about her food poisoning. So I'm like, "What do you want to eat?" And she's just like, "I'm going to get the barbecue slider." And I'm like, "That's the simplest thing on the menu. That's like, of course everybody gets that. It's delicious, but get some other stuff. Will you try the other food?" She's like, "Yes." She really wouldn't. I could tell. And then, but here's what pissed me off. And this is totally true. We ordered other food. I just started ordering food. Lily said she wanted sliders, and I knew for sure Judd and Nicole wanted sliders. And then there was one. I let them tell me, like, there was a duck breast dish that he said he wanted, and then they go, "And then the rest you just order." So I just started ordering food, man. I did not fuck around. I ordered crispy pig's head. I ordered the braised rabbit legs. I just started firing away. I got the poutine with the oxtail gravy. I got a fucking crab and watermelon salad. I just started firing away. A hamachi tostada, which is my favorite thing to eat there. And I just started ordering food. Liver toast, fucking liver pate. God damn it, it was awesome. So I order all this food, and they start bringing the different. Oh, and I should say this. I asked the waiter. I go, after I finished ordering, I ordered like 12 things. And I looked at the waiter. I go, "Is there anything I missed that's great?" And the waiter was this guy named Jeff, who I love. I think I've told you the exploits of when I've been an animal before. I've had fucking a terrible hostess, and I had a bald waiter who was a dick, and he was there that night, and so was the hostess. And by the way, I'm not crazy, because that hostess, last time I was there, she was mean to me. Well, now you know what I can say? She was mean to me and Judd. Because Judd went to walk in while we were waiting for the table, and he went to walk down. There's a long hallway. You have to use the restroom. So he started to walk down the hallway, and he said this woman comes swooping out and grabs him, and she's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to use the restroom." And she goes, "Well, are you a patron?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have a reservation." She goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And he goes, "I have a reservation of 6. We're all outside." And she goes, "Well, can I check you in right now?" Like, she wasn't going to let him use the bathroom. She thought he was sneaking in. And like I just said, Judd was resplendent in his monochromatic suit. You think he got dressed up to sneak in and use your shitter? I don't fucking think so, crazy lady. Give the guy a break. Give him the benefit of the doubt, all right? Let him go use the fucking bathroom. He promises to eat a crostini there later. So she's fucking batshit crazy. But Jeff, the greatest waiter who ever lived. I enjoyed Jeff's work, and we had been there before with him. So Jeff came over, and I just started firing food away. And then I said, "Hey, Jeff, is there anything I'm missing that I need to have?" And he goes, "Tandoori octopus." I said, "Really?" He goes, "It's amazing. It's got a raita, like a yogurt cooling, and it's just the tandoori flavor. It's all Indian spices." I said, "Done. Give me it." And I looked at everybody. I go, "I just ordered tandoori octopus, everybody." And they're just like, "Great, awful." So the food starts coming, and we all start eating, and it was really fun. I mean, Judd and Nicole were happy to be there, and they didn't expect Lily and Eddie, and we're having a great time. But so the food starts coming, and people are eating it. Lily's not. Lily's nibbling at a pork slider, barely, because again.
The crispy pig face thing.
Well, yeah, that you had a little piece of that, because once the crispy pig's head came, I looked at everybody and go, look, you have to eat crispy pig's head, everybody. And Lily had some. She loved it. She loves crispy pig's head. Nicole was willing to jam a fork in there, and she had some, and she loved it. And Judd, he ate it. I don't know if he cared for it very much, but he at least tried it. But I will tell you that was one of the first things that came out was the crispy pig's head, and they brought out the sliders, of course, which I said Lily was eating because she'd been sick. I don't blame Lily. Lily's allergic to a lot of shit, and she's also got food poisoning issues, and she's been ill. So I don't blame her for not leaping off the diving board into the deep end of animal. However, Nicole and Judd, who had come to town just to eat there, started to turn their nose up at dishes, folks. Check that. Let me take that back. Nicole was willing to try stuff. Nicole tried the rabbit. Nicole tried the octopus. But Judd, no interest. Like, he saw the octopus, he's like, nah. Like, he wouldn't eat it. You know who else, by the way? Let me go. Fucking Eddie. And it pissed me off. I won't lie. Because Eddie sent me stuff from sushi restaurants. He's like, look at this. It's like a live shrimp, a live fish, and they cut it up and he eats it. He's like, this is amazing. But then I started ordering food. And he's like, nope, no. Like, he was like, and I don't know what. I don't know if he was pissed off about his chair, because he had a chair that was jutting out into traffic, and they kept bumping it. Like, waiters and busboys continuously bumped his chair, and that does piss me off. So I offered for him to switch seats with me, and he was like, no. But then he wasn't Eddie. Like, he kind of withdrew into a shell, and I was kind of bummed at dinner. Like, I didn't think he was being Eddie. I'm like, dude, try some of the food and let's be gregarious and have some fun. And this is Eddie, who I'm usually going, dude, throttle down. But I was expecting it, juggling and bullshit and crazy Eddie and a fucking ear and, barking and all sorts. And I got none of it. I got Eddie sitting there with a sad face because people kept bumping into his chair. I'm like, no, dude. Even his mustache was droopy. I was so bummed. But he wouldn't try any of the crazy food. I'm like, come on, Eddie, we're compatriots. I don't expect Ann Judd to go along with me on this. The guy lives in the wilderness. Although maybe if he lives in the wilderness, maybe that's why he doesn't do it, because he's sick of eating crazy shit. If he lives in the wilderness, he's like, I shot a bear and I ate it while it's still beating heart. And actually, you know what? They had an animal, they had beating bear heart, and he didn't want it. I was shocked. That's why he didn't want it, because he's had it so many times up in the hinterlands. God damn it. I should have thought ahead. And certainly Nicole loves me. Of course, she's great. And they brought the octopus, and she tried a little of it, but she made like a squishy face. And so nobody at the table is going with me on this, except for one person. Ladies and gentlemen, I sat at that table, and I looked across into the eyes of my wife. Aww. And she's like, I'll have some octopus. So they brought out the tandoori octopus and the hamachi tostada, and they brought out the rabbit legs, and they brought out the oxtail poutine. Dude, they brought out oxtail poutine, which is, now that's relatively tame, all right? That's just fries and cheese curds and this oxtail gravy, and it is so delicious, I want to weep. And they brought it out, and Judd dug a fork into it, and he ate a bite, and he goes, well, that just tastes like something you'd have at a diner. And in my head, I'm going to murder Ann Judd right here in front of everyone. And then tomorrow on the menu, there will be beating Judd heart. I get irrationally mad. I shouldn't be mad. They brought me. They wanted to come there. But then I feel like I want to share it with them, and I want them to love it. And everybody's just kind of like, I don't think so. But not Karen. Karen ate everything. And they brought that octopus out. And it's funny. We let Nicole try it first, and she kind of made a face like, nah. And then I was like, anybody else want to try that? I don't think Judd did. I think he picked it up and looked at it and then put it back on the plate. So they passed it down to Karen and I, and we took a bite. And this is the thing that drove me crazy. Nicole certainly said this. I don't know if Judd did. She went, oh, it smells like fish. And they passed it down. It smelled nothing like fish. It smelled like the bounties of India. It smelled amazing. It smelled like taking a ride on the Darjeeling Express and having a talk with Jason Schwartzman and Owen Wilson. It was that fucking fragrant. It was so goddamn good. And they brought it down, and Karen and I looked at one another, and we put our forks together at the same time into the tandoori octopus, and we lifted it to our lips, and we ate it, and we both made the same face, the same smiley face. I thought Karen was happy at Fuku Burger. Fuck that. She was so happy when we ate that tandoori octopus, and she looked at me, and I'm eating it, and she just goes, isn't it funny? I know when Karen likes something, because she'll open her mouth sideways, like she don't like Jimmy Cagney or something, and she just goes, oh my God. Like, she'll say that. It's the fucking greatest thing ever. Whenever she says that, I know, all right, we're in for a treat. Everything's going to be great. And she ate that octopus, and it was so good. Oh my god, it's one of the best things I've ever eaten. Tandoori octopus, because it was so tender. Normally the octopus is tough, but it had like the the turmeric and the cardamom. I mean, just the spices of India. It was tandoori. It was tandoori octopus with a yogurt raita. Oh my god, it was so good. And we were eating it, and everybody else is eating their pork sliders. What is wrong with you Philistines? You shouldn't even be an animal, for fuck's sake. And then we ordered a duck. There's the duck dish that Judd wanted, and Judd wanted duck. So I was like, all right, I ordered the duck. And the duck came, and he bit it, and he looks at me, and he goes, oh, they can have that one back. Oh, my God. You're in a nice restaurant. Could you scale down on the hillbilly talk for a second, Judd? They can have that one back. I'm like, you wanted that one, motherfucker. That's what you ordered. Should have let me call the shots. I would have gotten everything. Look at this octopus. That's so delicious. I won't eat it. You should. But then I tasted the duck, and yeah, they could have that one back. It was not good. I did not enjoy it. The duck wasn't crispy, and it tasted like pastrami because they served a mustard sauce with it. It was awful. It was just not. I did not care for the duck dish, quite frankly. Karen loved the duck dish. Oh my God. So we kept eating, and then the chef. This is my favorite thing of the night, I think. We had ordered all this food, and we're eating it, sort of. I mean, I'm eating all the crazy shit, and everybody else is kind of eating other stuff. And then the chef sends out compliments of the chef. He sent a dish to us. Compliments. His own. There you go. Here's a gift for you. You know what it was a gift of? The chef presented us with the gift of tandoori octopus. Yes! A second helping of the thing that everybody hated. But I did not care. Because it meant that I was going to be able to look into my wife's eyes one more time and eat a fork full of octopus and be happier than I've ever been in my life. Oh my God, it was so delicious. That was my anniversary present right there. Tandoori octopus. That's what I got. Because my wife is my octopus. That's who she is. I was so happy being ensconced in the arms of my wife, tandoori style. I don't know, I guess you'd put it that way. Every bite was like more love for my wife. I was like, oh, because she was so happy. Oh my God, it was great. And I'm not lying. I was so pissed at Judd when he said that about the duck, but then I ate it and I see what he meant. But it was like, I was furious, and nobody would eat the food. I was so mad. I wanted to run around the table, eat this, and just start shoving stuff in people's mouths. It was so awful. Because it's like, you're sharing. I'm like, I'm sharing this with you, and then nobody wanted to share. But everybody ate the crispy pig's head. I need to calm down. Getting ahead of myself. Everybody was that. Look, as long as people ate crispy pig's head, I should be happy, right? I should just settle for that. So then the meal ends, and the rabbit was amazing. It had with potatoes and oh my God, it was so good. It tasted like Sunday. It was so good. But then they brought the check, and fucking Judd grabbed it and would not let me pay the check. Ridiculous. You're in my town, buddy. What are you doing? But infuriatingly, he scooped it up. He's like, no. And then everybody's very nice, because when I go and I meet with people and they want to pay, I'll tell them no, because I feel that I should. And then they're very nice, and they say to me, look, I've listened to the show for years. Certainly Nicole's in love with you, so I have to do something to win her favor back. Because now I will be the guy who bought you dinner, so maybe she'll look upon me and love me like a husband instead of like a friend who introduced her to you, her real true love. I gotta shut the fuck up. God, it's like, it was funny for a second. Now I'm beating it to death. But whatever, it was very nice of Judd to pay. So he paid for dinner, and they were going to get dessert. And they were talking about going to Sprinkles, because we had talked about going to Sprinkles with Oliver when he was in town, Oliver and Pia. And they said, we'd love to go to Sprinkles and see that machine. And we were like, oh, yeah, done. Let's do it. Although, I think maybe Karen suggested it. I don't know. Who cares? We all decided to have cupcakes. Really, when cupcakes are in play, who cares who decided it? You're all just going to get them. Yay. So Judd was going to, he wanted dessert because they had a bacon chocolate bar and stuff. And then he said, you know what, we'll pass. We'll go to Sprinkles. So that we all piled up into our assorted cars, and we went down to Sprinkles at 1 o'clock in the morning. And there was a line down the block for the ATM. And as we're standing there, it was and people just kept getting in line. It was so crazy, because I just figured the ATM in the middle of the night, you could just go there and get a cupcake and leave. Nope. There was at least 15 people in line when we got there. And the way that the machine works at the ATM, you only go one at a time, and you can only buy one cupcake at a time. So 15 people, if they're buying more than one cupcake, once they get up there, they start sliding their card, and they're buying. It just takes forever. We were there for 40 minutes before we got to the machine. But finally we made it up there, grabbed our cupcakes, and then we went across the street to a jail and sat and ate them. There's a restaurant across the street, and it had its patio open with its tables and chairs, but the restaurant itself was closed. But we could still use the chairs, which was great, except the chairs were all locked down with like bicycle locks, so you couldn't turn them to face one another. So we looked like the most abstract group of friends ever, as we're all facing in different directions eating our cupcakes. Judd got a s'mores cupcake, which has like graham cracker on the base and then chocolate in the middle and then marshmallow on top, and he bit it, and like, and he got marshmallow on his face, but he didn't care. Like, he was so happy. He's like, oh. And I almost wanted to look at him and go, can they have that one back, Judd? But I didn't. Because he had paid for dinner. He was so nice. And then we get to the cupcakes thing, and Lily had paid for all the cupcakes for everybody, which was very nice of her. And then we hung out and ate cupcakes. And then they were, so I couldn't believe that Judd wouldn't go along with the food. Because I'm like, this is hijinks. Let's have food hijinks. Let's have some food hijinks. Right now, eat that octopus. That's food hijinks. But he was not up for the hijinks. So instead we had cupcake hijinks. And then at the end of the night, we said goodbye to them, and it was very nice. And he had said, well, we're going to Universal Studios. We're going to be in town this weekend. You know, would you like to see us again? I said, yeah, you know what? Let me know. I said, we can probably go to dinner again on Sunday. I don't know if Saturday's going to work, but Sunday would definitely probably work. Definitely probably qualifier. So then Judd and Nicole called, and they texted, and they said, hey, how about Sunday? And I said, well, what kind of food do you want? Because I wanted to avoid the debacle of the night before. And I said, look, we have Chinese, because they didn't like sushi. That was one of the reasons they didn't want to go to Katsuya. So we had Chinese. I said, there's Mexican, there's seafood, there's whatever you want. And so then they said they wanted Mexican. So we picked a place called Casa Vega, which is a friend, Gary, Lily loves it. We love it. And they wound up meeting us over there, and then we went to dinner, and it was amazing. We had a great time hanging out with Judd and Nicole. They were so sweet and so cool, and I'm so happy that they came to town. And then, of course, the check came, and Judd took it again. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to pay. I mean, you paid the other night. Let me pay tonight. And Karen actually would not let the check go. Karen was holding it, and he had it, and he was pulling it, and she was like, and I finally like, Karen, it's fine. So she had to let the check go. And then Judd looked at me and he said, we did this to come here and pay for dinner for you. This is why we came to town. We came to town to see you and buy you dinner. And it's important to us to do that. And then you just shut the fuck up. You just nod and say thanks, which I did. And then at the end of the night, we walked outside to say goodbye to them. And it was sad, honestly, like, because, you know, they don't have kids either. Well, actually, I apologize. They do have kids. They didn't have kids in that moment, so it was like, yeah, we can hang out with them. But if it was in real life, back in the hinterlands, they have children, feral children, who wander they let them loose in the woods to run around for 3 days while they came down for hijinks in Los Angeles. So then they're going to go back, and the kids will have, probably chopped all the wood and killed all the animals for the long winter ahead. So we said goodbye to them, and I hugged Judd, and I hugged Nicole, and I know Nicole was very sad to see me go, because she loves me. We all know that, right? And I loved being with them and having a good time. But now I have to leave here because I've talked long enough, and it is time for me to go do wedding anniversary stuff. And like I said, we were out with them. We were out with Judd and Nicole, and we had a fantastic time. But it's always different when the two of you alone go out. And I think that's what we're going to have to do tonight. Because we had a great time at Animal with 6 people. And we had an amazing time at Casa Vega with 4 people. But I think I'm going to have the best time of all tonight with just 2 people. Because you know what? I was with Lily and Eddie, who are my friends and I love. I was with Judd and Nicole, and they enjoyed the show. And even though I don't know them, I felt like I knew them, and they certainly know me via the show. And Nicole loves me. I think we've all established that, right? Nicole does love me. But really, only Karen will eat octopus with me. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can be our friend Lily Von Stup's friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stup. You can follow her on 2 different Twitter accounts, Twitter.com/MNTs and Twitter.com/Lily Von Stup. You can be David Hernandez, who does all the artwork and the music for the show. You can be his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. And if you want to write Lily a personal note and find out how you too can become linked in with her, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Must drink your coffee, must hold some pencils, must soak your forty, must hold more pencils, must on these mugs. This flame bush mini on these mugs. Go buy these wicked awesome mugs at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Mugs, 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 mugs,
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Judd. No, it's on Santa Monica and Vine still, folks. There was an amazing show last week at the 3 clubs. I happen to know the producer of that show. She's a good friend of mine. She's a good friend of this show. She's here now, as a matter of fact. Her name, Lily Von Stupp. Lily, hey, Lily, how are you?
Hi.
What's happening? Busy doing computer stuff?
Recording the podcast?
Really?
Yes.
That's good news. It's almost over from what I understand. It's even better news for everybody listening. They're all thrilled. There was a show last week on Monday. Tell us a little bit about that show. I think it was called the
Inglorious Burlesque.
Inglorious Burlesque Show. I was there at
You
that
were.
show.
You hosted. It was awesome.
I hosted half of the show. I hosted was great. Well, no, the show was fully great, but half of my show was great. Who cares? But you were great. You did a fantastic job. Opened the show with your performance, and you actually, she fought through an injury, folks. She got a knee thing right in the middle of her routine, but still fought through it and dominated. It was awesome. It was fun to watch because I was up at the crow's nest watching her, and I saw her face. She was like, my knee, but I knew she was going to get through it, and she did. Amazing hot girls doing Inglorious Burlesque stuff. People said to me, they were like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear you describe the Inglorious Burlesque show. Well, by year 2. Like, I mean, I already did like almost an entire episode dedicated to it because when we did the Tarantino show for him, I described the whole thing, I think, and talked about the interaction I had with him. And so go by year 3, 2? I think it's 3.
2010.
Which one?
2010.
So I think it's year 3, folks. So go by that. Or write me and I'll tell you which one it is, and I'm sure you'll find it on a torrent site because I actually discovered that my shows are on. They've been BitTorrented by people, even though I put them out for free. That's the weirdest thing in the world. I put them out once for free, and then it's like, well, maybe I'll sell them and see what happens. And people are very nice; they still buy them. But the fact that they're even out there to be torrented, it just cracks me up. It's like, why? How are you ripping off something that was free, you dick? But good for you, I guess, internet pirate. But yeah, the show was amazing. I had a great time, and I'm glad because I didn't want to do it, folks. I won't lie. And even up to the very second my name was, or the lights went out, I was going, why am I doing this? I don't want to be here. But then when I started to talk, everything was fine. It's just, I convince myself, I talk myself out of being good. I talk myself out of people liking me, and I say, it's going to be a slog. It's going to be so hard. And it's so funny. I'm self-aware enough to know that happens, and yet I fucking do it every time I perform. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Although with the one man, I don't do it very often. I've become comfortable within the one man to where I just go, yeah, these people are here to see me, so that's cool. But when I'm seeing strangers, in my head I go, they're not going to like you. It's the weirdest dynamic. I can't explain it. But the show was great. It was fantastic. And you've got a show coming up this week, of course.
Yes.
Who's involved?
Doc and Stumpy's Big Booty. It's the pirate adventure.
Arr.
Arr.
Arr. Now, will you be performing?
I am.
Whoa. Do you know the spot you're going to do?
Yes, it's called She's a Whore by the Poxy Boggarts.
Oh my gosh. That seems almost filthy.
It is.
But I like you. I don't want you to be degraded in such a way.
Really?
Well, I don't know. If you're doing a song called She's a Whore, that seems like, I mean, look, it's that whole thing. It's like, yeah, she's a whore, but she's my whore. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? That type of deal. But that's fine. All right. Well, I'll have to let you take your clothes off and do whatever you want to do, I suppose. So good for you. So there's a pirate show this Monday. Go check it out with Lily singing to a dirty song, and it's going to make me sad. I can't be there because I'll see her sing to a dirty song, and then everybody will be thinking less of her. All right. I don't want you objectified. You're my friend. All right. So only I can objectify you, damn it. All right, so that's Lily's big show coming up this week at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine to Monday Night Teas every Monday night at 10 o'clock p.m. This week, Doc and Stumpy's Pirate Extravaganza.
Big Booty.
Big Booty, ladies and gentlemen. Who's on the show? Do you know any other names besides you?
Lama Sutra, Anastasia von Teaserhausen, Jezebel Thunder.
Slow down. Because I love the name Anastasia von Teaserhausen. I just think, because burlesque names are always, they're a chore. People have to think them up. Glamour Sutra, also a good name. Jezebel Thunder is a great name and very fitting for who she is. Oh, yeah. But just the name Anastasia von Teaserhausen, that's just, I don't even know, I mean, how long did it take to think that up? That's weeks and weeks of work, really, when you think about it. She had to sit down and she's just...
It's a reference from Will and Grace.
What? Oh, God damn it. Here, I thought you put some work into it. I hate that name. All right, so... She took it from another source. Boo! Well, I'll tell you what, though. The writers at Will and Grace, kudos to you folks, because you thought of it. Brilliant. Well, good. So Anastasia's performing. All that is going to be fantastic. All right, good. Well, that's the...
Cakes too.
Angie Cakes. Oh, filth. Lily's a fan of filth and a fan of Angie Cakes. And she likes to create filth with Angie Cakes. Oh, I can't think of you like that. All right. Yeah, I can and do. And have and will. All right, well, good. So the Monday Night Teas, go to MondayNightTeas.com for any information that you want. Go to brownpapertickets.com and search for Monday Night Teas or search for Lily Von Stupp, and you will find her shows there to buy tickets for. And tickets, are they on sale for November yet?
Not yet.
All right, there is a big Prince show coming up in November, and I've had my friends, actually some friends came to the show. Our friends Toby and Tara and Jason and Lily. I have another friend, Lily, and they came out to the show on Monday night, and they are coming to the Prince show, I believe. So they were asking if tickets were on sale yet. I said, not just yet. So they're excited, though.
They
That's
were
going to
awesome.
be... yeah, they're nice people. I'm a huge fan, and they're fans of the show. Go to facebook.com/the40year-old boy if you want to be my friend. Why wouldn't you? And also, there's pages on there to bring me to your town. I should tell you, St. Louis, Detroit, San Antonio, London, all these things are still alive. London's going to be that's like a stretch, but the other stuff, I talked to Beto, I think it's Beto, B-E-T-O. I don't think it's Beto, it's Beto. Beto is the guy who was behind the San Antonio page, and he's trying to ramp it up into a different effort for another show. And I've got to write him a note and tell him, you don't have to. I mean, he's very nice and he's very gung ho, but I feel like I have to do some of the work. You know what I mean? It's like he's very nice and he wants to take over and do some stuff. Whatever the fuck, I should shut the fuck up. But yeah, exactly. Hey, you're hired, Beto. You know how? Go to a BitTorrent site and get a free download set on me. So San Antonio is still in play. I'm actually talking to people in St. Louis and then Detroit, and all of that still exists. So if you want me to come to your town, set up a page or sign up for a page. I'm going to be in Portland in a couple of weeks, and I was going to talk about that today and did not. I will remind me to talk about it next week. All right, but I will talk about Portland. But I had to talk to my friend Chris Cruz, who was the one who convinced me to do Portland. I'm doing a big race there, a thing called the Warrior Dash. And I'll talk more about it next week, about what my plans are and where I've been and where I'm at. But I'll give you an update next week regarding what's happening. But it's fun. And then when I talked to Chris on the phone, I told her, and she's just like, what? I was like, come on, it's funny. And she's like, I don't think so. So whatever, I'll tell you next week. But I'll be there in Portland doing the Warrior Dash. So I think you'd still sign up for that. It's September 8th and 9th. I'm doing it the 9th, I think, which is Saturday. Or no, I'm doing it the 8th, which is Sunday. I don't remember, but I'm there, and I'll be in town on Friday. Why are you making fun of me? You think I'm going to be dead?
Because you said the 9th, which is Saturday, and the 8th, which is Sunday.
Did I?
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
I'm trying to get out of here. I have a date. So that's fine. I'll be in Portland. And then remember that I do have shows on sale now. September 14th at the Venture Theater in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I will be there. It should be exciting. There are we're getting very close to that. Buy some tickets, folks. That would be kind of cool. Because right now Green Bay is, I don't want to say dead in the water, but it's certainly floating. And then, of course, there's Philadelphia, which is a ways away, and has sold just as many tickets as I have in Green Bay. So that should tell you a little bit about where we're at in Wisconsin. And you guys always rally late. It always seems like you buy tickets slowly, and then the last week, everybody comes in with an avalanche and decides they can buy them. But right now, Green Bay... But Philadelphia, of course, still is on sale as well. Tickets October 19th at the Latvian Society. Tickets on sale at brownpapertickets.com for both dates, Philadelphia and Green Bay, and hopefully some other dates sooner. I'd like to get a couple more dates in before the end of the year. It all depends on when people in other cities answer their phones. But I hope to make it happen. We'll see. Remember that you can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, go to the Joe Business page, and buy download sets, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, all available individually or together as the Podcast of the Caribbean set. You can grab 4 for the price of 3. Almost said it again. It's 4 for the price of 3. Absolutely. Remember that there are tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds available there, autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds, and cock ring watches available from tweakedaudio.com/40. There are mugs available, Fireboy and Thorgar and Yeep from the Zazzle links, which are available at the MikeSchmidtComedy.com, Joe Business page. There's also t-shirts available, Red Boy and Scar Panda. I've sold those. If you would like a larger size, you should order them now. And by the way, let me ask you this. If you guys have gotten shirts from me, if you've bought them and I've sent them, send me an email that tells me it arrived. Because I mean, I have confirmation, but I'm bad at figuring that out. And then I start to look, and so just if I send a shirt to you, some of you do tell me, you'll write me and go yay, but some people say nothing, and it makes me think it got swallowed up by the fucking mail. I just said Seth and Brandy, their final Kickstarter stuff, their framed stuff, and so Kickstarter squared away except for the phone calls. But so if you contributed to, I still have to call people for Kickstarter. They're not happy about it. I'm sure they're all disappointed, but I will definitely dial them up. Maybe Labor Day. Maybe that's what I do Labor Day. I call everybody on Labor Day. Hey, happy Labor Day. What? All right. So make sure you go to the Joe Business page. And like I said, there's t-shirts available. There's mugs. There's earbuds and watches. And then, of course, the download sets, which are available. And if you want to donate to the show, in the upper left-hand corner of the site, every single page, I'm yawning. boring myself with the plugs. In the upper left-hand corner of every single page of MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you can click on the donate Schmitty. There's a little guy there with his pocket out, and then you can give a $2 donation a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month. And if also at the same time, you can just do a one-time donation, which is always appreciated. Thank you so much. Remember that the Comedy Film Nerds book is available. I don't know why I say remember. There's not a quiz. But if you'd like a Comedy Film Nerds guide to movies that I wrote in, I was able to write a couple of chapters in, you can order those through Amazon.com or through ComedyFilmNerds.com. If you'd like the book signed, you need to go through ComedyFilmNerds.com. And if you'd like to specifically request that I sign it, send an email to them and they'll make sure that happens. I did sign a bunch of books and they're gone because now I'm going tomorrow to Chris's house to sign more books. You guys are very nice in requesting me and I appreciate that very much. So I get to go sign more books and whatever else he might have there for me to sign. Cozies. They have water bottles. They have like sock monkeys. They have a bunch of crazy shit over there. Literally, they give away they have stuff. Because they have merchandise deals with people. I mean, I have my deal with Tweaked, which is really nice, and they've sent watches. We've given them away at Tees. But these guys have like sock monkeys and all sorts of nonsense that they give away. And they have a deal with Comedy Central. They have cozies and cozies. No, it's pronounced clitoris. I made myself laugh again. So, folks, there's Comedy Film Nerds there with the book if you want that. But also, please remember, the Los Angeles Podcast Festival is rapidly approaching. It is in October 12th, 13th, and 14th. And here's the schedule, folks. I am performing on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. No, wait. I'm performing Saturday morning at 10:30. Hold on a second. I think I'm performing Saturday at 11. Wait. Hold the phone, Chuck. Feed mayonnaise to tuna fish. It turns out, I think, and I don't know, there's been some change. Someone Twittered me. I think I'm now at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Like I was Saturday morning at 10, but now they've switched me to 4 o'clock on Sunday. And I thought I was in a podcasting, like a panel, like a storytelling panel on Sunday. I don't know if that's happening anymore. I mean, the panel might be happening, but I might not be in it. Maybe the guys who run it thought differently and invited different people. Or I was never really officially confirmed because Chris had mentioned it to me and I said yes. But now if I'm Sunday, then I don't know if the panel's before me or after me, and I can't figure it out. I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't talked to Graham and Chris. Tomorrow, when I go sign books at his house, perhaps we will have a little discussion about this very fact. Because I was initially at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then I thought I was at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and now it turns out I'm at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. That could change, because I've been told, as the website says, performers and schedule subject to change. I didn't know it meant, hey, performers, your schedule is subject to change. I thought that was just a note to fans. I thought it was maybe, but it turns out it was just a hassle and punctuation. Instead of saying performers and schedule subject to change, it should have said performers, comma, subject schedule to change. So I'm now Sunday at 4 o'clock. And I will tell you this, there used to be, I think it was you could only buy passes, 3-day passes. I think you can now buy 1-day passes for the show. So if you just wanted to come on Sunday and see me and whoever else is Sunday, I'm not sure. I don't know the full schedule. And again, subject to change. But if you wanted to get a 1-day pass to come and just see the day I'm on, you can do that now. And there's also rooms. Of course, if you're coming from out of town, rooms are still available at the hotel in Santa Monica. All the packages are still available. Go to lapodfest.com, lapodfest.com. And you will get any and all information you would possibly need that could change within seconds. But still, you'll have it for the moment in time that you needed it. Just keep checking back just in case, because it's evergreen, folks. It's just going to change and change and change. Actually, evergreen means it never changes. I apologize. It's not evergreen, folks. The schedule is not evergreen. And now I got to get the fuck out of here. I mean, I'm talking and talking. I got a date. I got a thing to do. It's my wife and I. It's our 15th year anniversary. And I will tell you this. This is funny. I woke up today and I'm on Facebook and everybody's writing, "Happy birthday, Karen." And so I go to Karen's page and it's filled with birthday requests from you guys and other people. And it's not Karen's birthday. It's our anniversary. So it makes me laugh that because I should tell you, she did this to me yesterday. All right, we're at the house. This is yesterday night. And she kept doing that thing where she's hinting. She's like, so what is going on tomorrow? I said, oh, nothing. I got the podcast tomorrow. She's like, oh, okay. Well, are you going to be home early or you're not sure? I go, I don't know. I usually talk a little late, but I should be home fairly early. She goes, oh, okay. Or are we doing anything special tomorrow? And I go, no, I don't think so. I mean, as far as I know, there's some TV to watch. And if you want to go get something to eat, we can do that. Oh. What about this weekend? Do we have anything that we're doing this weekend? I know what she's doing. I know what she's doing, but I'm refusing to play because I'm waiting because I'm going to text her at midnight. I will be at my job, and I can't wait to text her at 12 midnight with just like with a big happy anniversary and a thing. Because it's not our anniversary yet, so I don't have to. There's no hoops for me just yet. I know what she's trying to do, but she's hinting as if she thinks that she's busted me, and I'm just like, yeah, but I'm waiting till midnight. And then she's like, well, what about this weekend? Oh, nothing. And she's like, oh, okay. And I said, all right. Well, and I got ready to go to work, and I grabbed my stuff. And she looked at me, she goes, I love you, Michael. I said, oh, I love you. And I gave her a kiss goodbye. And I had to work at 10 o'clock. I get to the gig. It was 9:30, actually. I went a little early because I had to make up some time. I get there, and I'm sitting at the desk, and I asked her, I said, are you going to call me before you go to sleep? She's like, no, I'm just going to bed. I'm tired. I got to work. And I'm like, great. So I'm at work, and at 11 o'clock, I get a text. And she says, happy anniversary, Michael. I love you, whatever it says. And I'm just like, you don't get to do that. It's not our anniversary yet. Don't think you pulled one over on me. I'm waiting till noon when it's officially our fucking anniversary. But it made me laugh because she thinks I forgot. She's trying to bust me. And then she's like, happy anniversary, Michael. And so then I wrote her, I go, you beat me by an hour. I would have texted you at midnight, but, great. And I said some things. And then at midnight, I still texted her again. So it was so funny to me. She's hinting and trying to see. And then she thinks I forgot because I'm not saying anything. And then I wake up today and on Facebook, it's her birthday. So obviously when she did her new fucking timeline bullshit, she accidentally put our anniversary as her birthday, and I'm sure our anniversary date is her real birthday. So I can't wait to go home. Part of me wants to get out of here just to have the date, just to look her in the face and go, hey, happy birthday. And she'd be like, what are you talking about? You haven't been to Facebook yet? You have 1,000 birthday greetings because you messed up the date. I should text her now at midnight and just go, hey, happy birthday. Jesus Christ. You're going to tell me you're going to try to bust me the night before and then you screw it up on Facebook? Because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go over this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus, fuck. Hey, where are you going? Boy.